I'm Mr. Brock, and I will be your student's Algebra 2 teacher here at Bentonville Virtual School this year. And so I've made this video just to let you know what you need to be successful in class, what your student's going to need, how you can help, and just all the pertinent information. But before we get into all that, let me share a little bit about myself.
My wife is a teacher also. This is her, Mrs. Brock. She's over at Bentonville High. Normally, she's virtual school this year. She teaches chemistry. I know some of you have her for a teacher. We have 3 daughters. This is from January this year. This is the extended family that's growing all the time. So very excited to have new members in our family this year. So why do I teach? That's it. I love math. I love mathematics. Always wanted to be a teacher. I wasn't a teacher for a long time, so I finally decided to go back and get my master's degree in teaching. And so that way, there I am with some of my cohorts in the program that year. I graduated 2017, and that way I knew what I was doing and was able to get into the high school ranks here teaching mathematics. Unfortunately, it was very short-lived. I started teaching. Within the first year, I had to stop. Got sick. I got leukemia. I had a very rare kind of leukemia, actually, that was not going to stay in remission. And so I had to spend some time in the hospital, as you can see above, a lot of time in the hospital. And I had a bone marrow transplant. There's a lady from London, young lady that donated stem cells, and they put the stem cells in me, actually in this video, and the stem cells grew new bone marrow, which gave me a brand new immune system. So that new immune system means I'm kind of high risk. So that's why I'm teaching virtually with you guys here being as virtual students. So this worked out well for me. This whole virtual thing was a good opportunity to help protect myself. It's almost 2 years ago that I am leaving the hospital. New immune system means baby shouts over again. I know why babies are cranky. That hurts. I didn't want to lift my arm for 2 days, but I'm tickled to death. I got to spend some time with my daughter at her wedding with a dance, which is on YouTube, and I wouldn't have that opportunity if it wasn't for the medical technology.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What do you need to be successful here? Well, the first thing your student obviously needs is the district-provided Chromebook. We provide Chromebooks to all of our students, just so that's not going to be an issue on whether or not you have a device to access all of our lessons and assignments on. So you need that, and of course, then you're going to need Wi-Fi access at your house. So if that's an issue, we know there's certainly times when there's big issues with the Wi-Fi in areas. So for that, the school provides Wi-Fi all across our district. You can go to our district website, search for internet locations, and there's this page right here that will show you all the parking lots at every school in the district that where you can park and actually have internet access. So any of our schools provide that with the Chromebook that your student already has there, or will be picking up soon if they don't already have that in place. So all of our assignments, you'll be able to find all of those. Your student can log into Google Classroom. If they don't already have the Google Classroom code, that will be emailed to them soon. So they should look for an email with the Google link, and that they can log into the class. And all of our meets for class are going to be using that meet button. Use that meet button right there, and the student can log in and join us for class. Now, here's the schedule for classes. When they come to class, we only meet as a class on Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay, Mondays and Tuesdays, all virtual classes meet at the assigned time. The time is right there in the Google Classroom heading right there. It tells what time this class meets. And so that's required Mondays and Tuesdays. The rest of the week, that depends on the grade. If your student's doing great and their grade is over 70%, those meets are not required. Now, I still hold class. I'll have class Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So if your student has a question, even if they're a student, they can still come to class on those days and just say, hey, Mr. Brock, I don't understand what we're doing with this assignment here. And I'm happy to go over things. So you don't have to be required to come to class. So Mondays and Tuesdays required, Wednesday through Friday, get a little option there. So all of our assignments, when I've given an assignment each week, that will be posted in Google Classroom. They'll be able to go to the classwork tab, look under that week, and it'll have in there assignments due this week. So all of our assignments will be in there with the due dates in Google Classroom, but all of our work is on a different website for algebra. So go to this website, which your student will find right there in Google Classroom, along with an email from me with their login information. And on there, they can find the Algebra 2 curriculum and assignments. So I'll go over the assignments every week on our class time on Monday and Tuesday. And then they've got until Sunday to turn that in. So all assignments will be posted to Google Classroom Monday mornings by 7 a.m. and they're due Sunday night at midnight. So they've got all week to work at whatever schedule they need to work at to get those turned in. So as far as grades go, we have two kinds of assignments. We have practice grades, practice assignments, and then we have EOL, evidence of learning assignments. The practice assignments do not count towards the semester grade, but they are essential in helping to make sure you understand the work. So when you do the evidence of learning assignments, you can score high. I do allow retesting. If someone takes the test, they don't do too well, retesting is certainly available. And any makeup work, if they're behind, I do take makeup work, but I do have a deadline for that. When we get to like the end of Unit 2 and we take the test, at that point, all Unit 1 work is due. Faster. After we take the test, you can't turn in Unit 1 any longer. So I give them an entire another unit to turn anything from that work. So let's talk about contact information. If you need to reach me, I have this email address and I have this phone number that you can leave messages for. I'll also email you from time to time. I send out grade reports occasionally when I see a student struggling. I'll contact you and let you know missing assignments, whatever the factors I see and why the grade is low. Additionally, every week on Tuesday, your student will fill out a grade check form during their advisory period. So you should get an email every Tuesday listing all the classes and all the grades for your student. So that way you can keep up each week to know if your student is slipping behind before it gets to be a real problem. So look for that email every Tuesday. And if you don't get it, check with your student to make sure they turned in their grade check. If they haven't done the grade check, then you haven't gotten the email. So let's talk about expectations. Expectations for your student, expectations in my class. Basically, they're expected to show up on time for those synchronous meets. And again, the time is listed right there in the Google Classroom. They need to be on time. They need to have their cameras on. They don't have to have their microphone on. In fact, they shouldn't have their microphone on unless they're answering something or contributing to class. But they should have their cameras on to where we can see that it's actually them that is in class. They should also participate. When I ask questions, they can use the chat feature if they like. They don't have to turn on the microphone. A lot of the students are not comfortable with that. I understand. But the chat feature is always available. I always have that turned on where they can type in and contribute to class in that way.
And parents?
You're going to get emails from me that I'm not seeing them in class. The grades are dropping down, whatever's going on. And I need your help in that because I can't come and look over their shoulder to see why they're not turning stuff in. I don't know. Are they struggling with the assignment and they need help? Or they're busy watching Netflix, right? You know what goes on these days. So I need your help to make sure to just follow up with them and make sure they're doing what they need to do because I'm not there to be able to look over their shoulder and follow up on that. So let me show you one thing. Right here on the Bentonville School, you can go to the teacher's website. That's found right here under the virtual school, under the parent links, teacher websites, and you'll find my webpage. And here you can find the syllabus for this class. So you can find the Algebra 2 syllabus, and it will show you all the units of study, the things we're going to be covering this year during Algebra 2. They're all listed right here in the syllabus, as well as most of everything I've shared with you in this video. The expectations, the grading policy, and those type of things. Let me finish with this. I know that life happens outside of this virtual classroom, right? And sometimes things that happen outside of this classroom affect life inside of our classroom. I shared with you at the beginning how I had to be out of school for months and months when I had leukemia. That's something outside the classroom affecting life inside the classroom. And that's going to happen. I understand there's times when your student's sick or for whatever other purposes are not able to turn in assignments or be attentive in class. All I ask is communication, right? I need help with communication. That's where you can be a big help. It's where your student can be a big help. Is let me know. If they're not turning things in, are they struggling? Are they goofing off? Is there some circumstance that's kept them from being able to do that? If you just communicate, that's the best thing that make this successful in the class. And that's true for all your virtual classes. Communication with the teacher, because we understand things happen. And there's times when you just can't get things turned in, or you're struggling with something because of something totally unschool related. And that's okay. So we're going to have a great year. I'm excited about Algebra 2 this year, and I hope your student is too. If you have any questions, please contact me. Again, there's my email address above right there, and I'd love to hear from you if you have any more questions. Thank you very much.